plays, which tells me not to be aggressive. So I will wait and then see if that changes. And a lot of times when we're kind of setting out into the day like that with that attitude, sometimes you can get some really good trades actually. So open to what the market sets up, but right at the open, I'm going to be pretty patient. That's all I
Yeah,
got.
I think the largest driver of these earnings reports is the capex, and Google it was holding up okay, and then the capex data came out. They said they're going to increase the amount of dollars they're going to spend. So the market is not liking that for now. That's been like kind of sell uh, headline. So we'll see when that and if that changes at some point. But yeah, keep an eye on that. I think what the the other side of the capex spend is, these memory names, some of the other kind of third party AI. I guess I'm not gonna call them vendors, but the ones that will take advantage of this capex spend, like where these big names are spending their money. I think they might see a little bit of a maybe some sort of move. So MU, for example, is one of those, right? If they're spending more, they will spend it somewhere. So keep an eye on that kind of idea or narrative throughout the day. Okay, so yeah, a couple good names there. I really like the offside on IBM, keeping a close eye on that as well. And Tesla, that 337 is huge. Let's see if they actually tag that or if they hold that 340 area. So I'll be watching that definitely for a scalp. All right, now NOW. Software name, it's up nicely here pre-market after earnings, and it's been a little harder to trade this one as of late. So let's see if this catches a turn here. And so what I would be looking for would be a hold of 100 or 99.5. If that could hold, if we see some sort of check back and sweep of that pre-market low, which we kind of are moving away from a little bit, I could imagine a long towards that 105. So what I'm looking for here is maybe a little bit of a dip at the open into that 100 or 99.5 and return and a turn for that kind of like dip and rip idea. So that's that. NOW is usually harder to trade, but I think it's interesting to see what it does here. It's also a Trump name. So, this might be an opportunity if you're interested in catching a bit of stock, maybe a good idea to maybe start adding some. FSLR, I was talking about FSLR yesterday, I believe, and I had a really nice day yesterday, but ended in the middle of that candle. And so that attempt to turn failed a bit. We are holding slightly red here. So if it goes green, I'll be hands off, but it does revisit those lows on the daily around that 205 area. I'll be watching actually a downside move here. So FSLR. MU, as I said, it's more of a kind of a theory, just imagining us perhaps seeing a little bit of more buying in the MU. Some of these names take advantage of the higher capex, which seems to be around for a while. If this one starts pushing towards the high of this week, but more importantly, if you go on the weekly chart, I've been talking about MU pushing above last week's highs. So last week's highs around that 995. So if it starts breaking above that and you have the 1000 level there, I think this one could start running maybe. The alternative would be just an inside week that we can watch next week, which is not terrible either. So yeah, watching MU on the side here. JPM, really nice day yesterday. Another name that we talked about. We actually watched that 345 and it broke it really nicely and pushed higher. We are slightly red, so for this one, just a simple red to green move. Simple red to green move. It's pulling back here pre-market. If this sets up, it could be a nice trade towards those all-time highs. So this one is not high on my list, but it's an area of the market that I do want to watch. Um, I think this is a bit of a Yeah, Mateo, you need to talk about this one because I actually don't see the player. Sorry.
No worries. On Reddit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just something I saw was green. It's a day two setup, but it's a day two fade. So basically, gap down on day one and had a pretty nice bounce, closed in the a little bit above the middle part of the range, and now we're gapping up right to that prior day high. So that can set up a bit of a kicking pattern, which just basically means if it can hold above that print high, which it's doing in the pre-market here. Sellers can be offsides a bit for move up to 177. So it's very similar to Service Now actually, where you're just gapping uh, up right back to that prior day high after a red day. The one thing I would say I like about this is it already has started a bounce and then is continuing from the close. So yeah, pretty interesting, kind of random. The volume is really good. So it's trading six times RVol in the pre-market, which seems kind of odd with no real news. So yeah, just something to watch. If it holds 174, look for a move to 177. Above 177, I think it starts to squeeze a bit toward the 180s. So like 184, 187.
Cool. Thank you so much. So that's all we have. Sarang, are you liking anything?
Hey, good morning. Yeah, I think at the open, I don't like anything. I think now is only looking good. And if you see the market overall, it's pulled back, but now earning is good. So what I'm watching is dip below 100 and reclaim above 100 is the good entry on the now. And Google, what I'm watching is if we see some kind of a quick drop, at the open. So I'm not interested for short, but if we see a quick drop, maybe below 3110, then I'll be looking for a big buy around that area where historically I think 307, 308 area we have reversed very hard to 333. So that's what I'm watching. If we see a quick sell at the open, fast acceleration and drop below 3110, yeah, then I'll be looking to buy the dip around that area for a reversal. And Tesla, I think Mate has covered very well. I had the same plan, like watching 338 area or 352 to 353 area for front side rejection on the Tesla. Earnings were very poor on the Tesla. So let's see how it goes. But no pre-market structure, so like to be a patient on that. IBM actually, yeah, 200 is a psychological level, but below that, 196 area is the previous all-time high. I think that could be the logical point where we could see the reversal on IBM. So what I'm watching is dip below 200 and reclaim of that 200 or 204 area rejection for the front side short. But yeah, not much pre-market structure and the stock is already oversold. So I think better to wait and watch for some intraday setup on this one for an upside or downside. And I think with the Google earning, they have capex has increased a lot. So I think the main money will flow to either memory side or AVGO. AVGO has a partnership with the Google. So I think we have seen a big pop after hours, but I think we faded all the pops. Uh, we are back to 388 area. So what I'm watching is red to green move on AVGO. If we see a big reversal, 397, 398 area reclaim, we'll be targeting 403 and 407 on AVGO. It's just a concept trade, just because Google capex is increased, so money should AVGO should get benefited out of the Google capex because they are working closely. Uh, that's the one. And I think memory names, they should be get benefited also with the capex, but surprisingly they are not reacting much. So we have solid move upside, but again we lost all the gain. So I think out of all the memory name, I like SKHY. SKHY 177 area is the big one. So watching two trade SKHY IPO day one high was 177. If we see a move higher and some basing below 177, I'll be looking to buy the breakout above 177. Or if we dip below 166 and then try to reclaim 166, yeah, I think this one could set up a setup for upside. Just a concept trade because capex increase means this memory name and chip name should get benefited. So that's the concept behind it. So we'll see if we see any technical around those ones. So I'm ready to trade any memory name for upside. And Google, I think I will share the plan. Yeah. So that's all I'm watching to me.
Thank you. Just time check. We have 6 minutes to go. Let's take a look at some of the names that you guys are asking for us to look at. SpaceX. Yeah, SpaceX, the infinite no bid. So far, just down, down, down. Earnings coming up. I would just wait. I do have a buy limit around 100, so I'll take some there if we get there. I would say it's a continuation play. If we start breaking yesterday's lows and unable to recover and showing relative weakness, which we have, I would watch that for sure. If we pop into 120, that would be another short area to watch. Otherwise, above, hands off. MBIS had a nice move yesterday, and it just failed to move above the 50 day. It got sold into fairly hard there around that 230 area. So, we're back lower here, and I think a positive outcome of this here would be some sort of consolidation area, so where we trade just in a range, wait things out. Even better if the market is pushing lower, MBS just holding could be something to watch when the market turns. In terms of a day trade, I don't see much here. Yeah, Meta is back to 600 area. The 50 day is at 606. Yeah, let's see what happens. Big move lower here. I think the likelihood of this push lower here is because of Google CapEx. This one has had terrible CapEx PTSD as of late. So I'm assuming that people now are kind of, I guess, accounting for higher CapEx than expected on this one, maybe. Just an idea. So I'd be cautious with this one. UNH, nice inside day yesterday. I would watch yesterday's highs for a push. Watch yesterday's highs, but we need to clear that 438. 438, I think we see a push higher. Let's see if we see some sort of rotation. It's a nice one to call out. So far, XLV, the healthcare ETF, is slightly green. And so rotation, I think, is a concept to keep an eye on today. If we do see money coming out of one area and pushing into another area. As I'm speaking, ES is pushing lower, testing 74.50. So infinite no bid here on ES ever since we broke below the 50-day moving average, which we did earlier this morning around 7 o'clock. We attempted to backtest, it failed, and it's just been straight red candles to the downside here on the 10-minute chart. Yeah, TWO, I actually looked at it, Dr. G. It's just a one-time framing continuation move down. Yesterday was the first day. Today is the second day to watch. It's also a huge area here, bottom of this range around that 180. So you know what to do there. Watch for that break, continuation into that gap area around the 170. Look for that break and recover, potential failed breakdown. Just not a good candle yesterday. Microsoft is slightly green. It's just hard to trade Microsoft unless we're above that 400. We've had 3 attempts, actually 4 attempts out of the last 5 days where we've attempted to push above 400 and failed. And yesterday was like just a buyer shut off kind of price action where we just moved down to -1 ATR within the day. So not great. And lastly here, Snow, I want to get myself in order here before the open. 2 minutes to go. Snow looks good. It's actually holding up really, really good. And I'd be curious to see what IGV does. It's actually slightly green today, so software is slightly green. I'm fast to pivot to these if I see them. Uh, the what I usually watch is PANW, NET, Crowd, Snow, DDog, uh, and I stay away from CRM. I haven't looked at the CRM in a while. I do like the relative strength in Snow for sure. I already talked about Microsoft stock. I just ran through it. I am done here. I would like to take a look at things here. Tesla is pushing 340. Bigger candle to the downside. Old big candle to the downside. Same with Google here, breaking the 200-day moving average. Apple testing that 320. Tesla pushing lower. Nvidia holding up just a bit. And the indices are looking pretty heavy here across the board. I'll be using 7430 as my pivot today, SPX to the upside. It would be holding previous 2-week lows and recovering, and that's 7400. Market is open, and we are below -1 ATR, guys, on SPX. Tesla is moving lower here, guys. Tesla, that 338 is being tested. Google big pop. And OW lower. Guys, Google's catching a bid here. Nice bid here. Watch Tesla. SPX testing to turn here. Watch ATR above, right around 7420 area.
NBIS, nice pop. Watch 223. Watching 240 calls.
AMD catching a bid. SPX testing previous week lows here.
74.30 first resistance above, and then 74.45 above there.
Also attempting that breakdown here.
Watch MU turn.
IBM failed breakdown the pre-market low pivot. Watch 204.44.
SPX attempting a failed breakdown here. Previous 2-week lows here. -1 ATR for SPX today is right around that 74.22. We just recovered it, and previous 2 weeks. There's resistance above 74.50, and I would say the 50-day moving average 74.70 would be a resistance. Something that we've held for quite a while, and we finally gapped below it here. So that could be a nice little front side short, perhaps, to consider. SNDK, MU, I do like to the upside. I like MU, what it's doing here, for sure. Talked about the idea of it earlier. Well, you did just pop the premiums on SNDK there. Watching those 1000s, actually. Yeah, yes, they just popped it. Yeah, they just moved from 17 to 21 in like a blink of an eye. So they're ripping MU here. And SNDK pop. So, all right. So I think those guys are in play upside. The 1000 calls are moving really nice. Nvidia catching a nice bid back above that 210, recovered the 50-day moving average. Unbelievable move in MU, guys. We're testing last week's highs, PM highs right around that 1000. Those 1000 calls are about 24 here from 17. They're really buying those up. I was considering taking it, but it moved exactly as I was looking at. Conceptually, MU makes sense to me there. Really nice move.
Taking a small long on NBIS. I'm willing to swing this. I just want to play this memory trade with a little bit of risk. MU really strong, like you're calling out. Could go with either. I'll use a stop around 213 on that idea. Size to 0.
SNDK right where we were yesterday, highs. I would watch 1700 calls on that one.
Looking what I'm seeing with NBIS here. I think above 223, not a bad spot to add size. MU, that spot would be 1,000. If we hit through 1,000, this thing can squeeze. I was taking a quick third here on NBIS. Just as a partial. 340. May consider adding also. Just gonna give it a minute here. You see getting on NVIDIA 210 calls here.
AMD is very, very strong.
Took off a little bit more NVIS here. I may be adding some size on this, but I would want to wait for a signal back test. You could have traded it through that 223 with some size. I think that was a good call out. This premium's moving pretty good. ATR is 240. Think this move in memory can stick today.
Let's call it an MBS. Very nice. 50 days at 226.82, just above here.
Okay.
Also lining up with the highs from this morning.
Mm. Yeah,
So
good call.
squeeze above.
Pretty thin above 45 on SPX. If we clear there, we could see a little bit more of a relief rally. trying for the failed breakdown of the prior week low, pushing above 45. I'm trying this long on ES.
Whoa, 1,000 test here, MU. That was a big pop. I'm watching SPX, see what it does around this 74.50, as I said, and then the 74.72. That's the 50-day moving average. It's a big resistance there, gamma 75, J. Something to watch, man.
Yeah, 75 probably a decent short if we could get up there.
MU broke above previous week high and now holding. As long as it's above this 995, I think it's a good upside candle, but you have 1,000 there, which would be your accelerator to the upside. I was interested in watching this one. It just kind of moved away from me very quickly, but just watching here for intraday setup. I like how strong these names are. Conceptually makes sense to me as well. Now back to green here. They attempted to rip it red and then green. All right, so 74.50, as we said on SPX, seeing a small rejection here, but we have yet to trade long enough for me to say, okay, we're not in trend day, we're in a chop day, or that's a trending day. MU is very strong here, guys. Just FYI, I think it could break that 1,000, but does it hold it? We'll see. Tesla, $332. And that's your MU 1000. Let's see if it holds. I might take 10, 20 calls here and mute soon. Watching 1020s, I'll have a 50% stop on it. I'm gonna have a B-size grade. The B-size just because it's pretty expensive. $7,450, really nice rejection area there, guys. Now, watch that ATR level that we broke above around that 22, 7422. Backtest and hold of that could be interesting for a long. Guys, I just got filled here at 1350. 1020 calls. Gonna be have a 50% stop. I'm gonna try to be patient with these. If we start breaking 965, I'll consider just cutting it, preserving premium at that point. That is not what I wanted, MU. But premium holding up okay here.
Guys, I'm adding to MBIS here on this check back. With the add, I'll keep a little bit of a tighter stop. Let's see if this dip gets bought up here. We need to push through that 226.
Keep an eye on Nvidia today.
MBIS right back to 226 here quickly. Let's see if it can push through.
SPX bounced right off that ATR level. And OW guys, we're watching that above 100. They really sold it, but they're bouncing it really nicely here. Keep an eye on 100. Tesla 327. Let's take a look there and see if there's anything huge around this area, Tesla. All right, so we're near September lows of last year. 73, 7400 could be next year. I've used like it's holding, it's in range. Um, Same with NBIS, like relative strength. The market is a little very weak here, so there's still a disconnect. There's more relative strength in these names. Premium's down just a bit. Technically, I prefer MU above yesterday's highs and then above last week's highs. Obviously, 1000 is very important, which we tested. It's a big area here, Tesla, on the monthly, as I said, testing September lows from last year. It's just, I wouldn't touch it. Just calling it out.
All right. Yeah, so that's 73.95, 7400 spot. Some support
Yeah.
if we see that. 74.35 to 40 is resistance. You got to clear 40 for any upside. Otherwise, it's kind of choppy in the middle of that 7400 to 7440 or so.
Did you short 45 or no?
No, that did work out extremely well, though.
USO testing 140. Yeah, NBIS is extremely nice here, guys. I'm not gonna jinx it, just calling out price action. $50-day moving average test NBIS. Seven 425, 7 440. Projection area above. Positioning below is growing 73.95, 90, 73.75, 70. Two spreads there that are at this point magnetic, I guess. below 20, I don't see much. Maybe a lower day as always, but yeah, tricky. Yeah, I mean, at some point today, Tesla will make like a 5 point bounce or something, So keep it on the September low. I didn't really, I don't remember the exact number, but it's around here somewhere. I could bet you my bananas that it gets a little bit of a bid there. It always like reverts to the 9 on 10, which is at 337. Like with time, you'll get that kind of reversion. Yes, MU is so freaking annoying. MBS looks great. Good job breaking above the 50. Likely target would be that PM high, right?
Yeah, yeah. 230,
Yep.
231, and then 240 ATR.
Yeah.
Looking to sell some here. Selling about half at 450. We got some size on that ad, so taking off a good profit here. We'll look to hold the rest.
Bang, bang, like we say. Testing yesterday's highs here.
Go.
See if we can sell some around that 1,000 MU. Need that pop, pop, pop. Above last week's highs here, MU. You want to see buyers stepping back in here. This is the second time. Big sellers are probably shaking in their boots here, MU. Wow, MBIS, beautiful move. Beautiful move.
Big pop on the premiums there. That 240s just expanded quickly. Yeah, and I normally would like to sell into something like that. Starting to retreat a little bit. See if I can get through that pre-market high. At least test it first. Got pretty close.
Yeah, I was trying to get take an exit there, but didn't really hit. So still sitting here slightly green. Yeah, SPX is moving towards the low. That 20 failed to hold. Now we're pushing lower, testing 10. Below 10, it gets pretty thin towards the 7400, 7395 area. The US 10-year note yield officially surges above 4.70% for the first time since January of 2025. IBM is trying to go red to green here. Really nice dip below 200 and recover IBM. That's a rejection of the ATR attempt to recover again. IBM guys, 210 calls, watch them. All right, we're gonna get paid here soon, guys. Trust me, I know what's gonna happen exactly. That was kind of a joke. I do think we're gonna get paid though. I demand. Double long here actually, because we're holding ATR. Seeing some nice kind of turns here across the board too, so I can. Yes, I can feel in my bones. No, nothing like last time. Nothing like last time, Torch. That was nobody believed me, but my bones felt it. The monkey tingles. IBM is setting up. I really like that. Come on, MU. Fuck's sake. I'm not loving positioning above though. Looking at it now, they're closing above, and the shit. I was gonna say the positioning below is getting pretty impressively big here. Okay, do you have any thoughts on that? Am I reading that correctly?
Yeah, I mean, the way I'd see it, 7440 to 7400, you can't really do anything in the middle. So, you've got to clear 40 for a squeeze. And then, the best long is going to be off of, 7400. You clear 7440, there's a spread at 7500 that could be a magnet.
Mm-hmm. But just in terms of, I wasn't taking a trade. I'm just trying to, I guess, interpret direction, and it feels like we're pretty heavily moving lower here. Like our positioning is getting heavy below us, so it's hard to even look for, even think about thinking long here.
Yeah, it's fluctuating quite a bit. The 7500 is actually the biggest node now, but still needs a trigger. Right now, it's still kind of going back and forth. These nodes below us are growing and then shrinking a little bit, so it's hard to say. But I agree. You can't really. The best long would be if we could test lower first.
Yeah, I agree with that. Let's clear that and see if they can get a turn.
Also, that 7400 would be a low of day sweep, which would be nice. The opening low print would be nice to trap that and then try to move higher.
IBM red to green. Anybody caught that pop in IBM? Really a nice move here. Now we do have resistance here, 206. We need to be able to hold the red to green move. So they might test it. It might go slightly red again. You want to see that come back green. And I do think that potential move here would be yesterday's highs or even the PM high around 216. If the market starts pushing, if this one actually completes this offside play. But for now, it's doing a really good job of sweeping that PM low, so that 200 level, then coming back nicely. MU is teasing here. A couple of inside 10-minute candles sitting in a really nice kind of shape here, but we're not making any new highs. I would like to see us make a new high. Trying to be really patient with this one. I'm running out of patience. NVIDIA new lows. I just got filled IBM 210 calls. It's more towards like the lotto size of things. Sarang just got some Dell 460 calls. Really nice day there. Nice eye. Continuation of yesterday's push. Could see all-time highs there. Very nice. I like that. Market catching a bit of a pop here. All right, MU 1000 test here. Higher day. See if you can get to 1000. Hold on here. Come on, you piece of shit. Push. Fuck's sake. Sorry, guys. I almost thought I was muted. Joking, I don't care. These guys are gonna get paid, for fuck's sake. MU should be FU. Let's go. Bit above. Bit above. I feel it in my bones. Come on. Don't make me look like a fool, you shithead. No, I'm joking. I am a cool guy. I don't have any emotions while trading. You have to be emotionless. You have to talk like this and enjoy the suffering. Suffering is what will make you a good trader, they say. Fuck that. Oh, should I take some off? Nope, I'm gonna get filled where I want to get filled. 0. Come on! BM, IBM, IBM. I am singing. I'm gonna go on mute because obviously you guys hate this. So I'll be back. I'm just trimming some size there, guys. 1000 is tricky. I don't like how SPX is looking. I could have obviously taken profit a little higher up, but it looked like it was going to pop through the 1000. It did not. So we're back to where we entered here. I'm holding half size. I'll be right back.